Hi guys, welcome back to Planet Mithril. My name is Mithril, and today I'm going to be exploring the brand new pre-orders which are going to be dropping this week from Games Workshop. That's right, after so long a wait time. We've waited so long for this next book to come out.
It's been 84 years.
It is finally dropping, I believe, this Saturday for pre-orders, and with it, it is bringing a host of new gorgeous models, along with some old ones which were long lost from the range, which are now coming back into general circulation. So for those who aren't aware of what's going on, where have you been for a start? And secondly, do you even pay attention to all the first-class memes that have been floating around all the Middle-earth channels? This is the third book in the three Middle-earth Army supplements. This is now just titled The Armies of Middle-earth. We've had Armies of Lord of the Rings and Armies of the Hobbit. This is the third one, which will encompass a whole load of other slightly more niche army lists. This will be really exciting now because we've had quite a lot of the old models that have disappeared from the range, disappeared from profiles. Dwarves particularly have taken a bit of a hit, but hopefully now will be finding their home in this new book. The army lists that are going to be coming in the new book are the Battle of Bywater, so hopefully we'll be seeing lots more Hobbit militia and Hobbit models come back into circulation. Arathorn's Stand, the Grey Company, so you're now no longer, hopefully not limited to just Arathorn and Halbrand with great ranges of the north. The Bjornings, the Fords of Isen, Paths of the Druidom, Fiefdoms, which is something that's super exciting to come back because I've got a lot of love for fiefdoms, and a lot of people I know have got a love for fiefdoms. The Grease of AMA, which is an interesting choice. I'm wondering if that's going to be another Rohan kind of rider-based list, but I suppose we'll wait and see. Arnor, the Army of Dale, Battle of Thornost, Kingdom of Khazad-dûm, Army of Erebor, and Defenders of Erebor. So you can see there's a lot more dwarves there. There's a lot more kind of very themey lists there, and a lot of things that we haven't actually got profiles for yet, which hopefully are going to be in this new book. It's worth mentioning as well, quite a lot of these are going to be brought in from the previous PDF that Games Workshop did, which had a lot of the Arnor and Angmar stuff in it. So they're now just putting that into the hardback setting. So unfortunately, they take up slots from other lists, and we couldn't just deal with the PDF and even more army lists. Can't be picky now. And again, like I say, for the evil side, there are 14 more lists, and these are Army of the Great Eye, which is going to be very interesting to see how they drain this out from any of the Barad-dûr and Mordori lists. Sharky's Rogues, so the Ruffians are finding more of a home. Moria's coming back, which is great because there's so many models from Moria which don't have a home right now. Prowlers and Marauders and all the such, which hopefully they'll be bringing back into Moria. And there's nothing else letting you take more than just a Balrog to lead your army. Dragons of the North, Host of the Witch King, Shadows of Angmar, Birdo's Horde, the Wolf Pack of Angmar, Army of Kharn-dûm. Now a lot of these were ones that came in the Angmar PDF. So nothing really new there for those who haven't played that yet. The Easterlings are finally getting some love. We're seeing the Easterlings and the Host of the Dragon Emperor, all armies that don't currently have profiles, and will be receiving some love in this edition. And then we have the Serpent Horde, Umbar, and the Grand Army of the South. So there's a lot of kind of Haradrim and Corsair kind of love going around there, which is really good to see. And it's mattered in with some of the some things that really needed kind of bringing back Moria and dragons in particular. And I think Jet might be pretty happy about the dragons. I don't know. He's certainly happy about the crocodiles, that's for sure. Yes, not only that, it will have new rules for new profiles coming out as well, such as the Wardrakes of Rune, which I know Jem is particularly excited for, and I really hope they don't come out before doubles, because if they do, I've promised him we'll do an army. So, Games Workshop, can you hold off until the end of July? And that'd be great from a wallet. Thank you. As I said as well, there's a brand new match play guide coming. So far we only have the 6 scenarios that are in the main rulebook, but this is now going to be up to 24 match scenarios, 6 of them brand new. We've not seen any of these before, and I'm really excited to see what they do, because they've got different ones, Fog of War, Reconnoiter, quite a lot of variation in the army list at the moment, but I've had 6 brand new scenarios. It'll be really interesting to see what they do and how they change up the game a little bit more. And as I said, there is a slew of stunning new models coming, which my wallet is really sad about. But we are going to be getting the Hera model, which was teased very early on in this year, which has finally got a release date, Hera, Daughter of Helm. We're also getting the absolutely stunning Prince Imrahil of Dol Amroth model. I mean, look at that. That is a gorgeous, stunning model, who's had his profile released actually as well. He was coming in at 160 points. The only real buff that's happened to him is that he's now up to fight value 7, which is huge. He can now match Boromir and Aragorn in regard to fighting prowess. Which makes sense because he is the Prince of Dol Amroth and he is a solid fighter. Doesn't really have much more option for war gear other than getting the horse and lance, which of course have taken the hit of the horse tax. So the horse and lance combination up to 30 points, which makes him 190, which is a fairly big hike for what is effectively +1 fight value. We were talking about this Jeb the other day, and he was saying that actually the Dol Amroth for Gondor rule Used to be a 12-inch banner. He used to be a 12-inch banner for all, I think it was Swan Knights, Men at Arms, and Swan Knights, the Mounted Swan Knights, I should say. That has now been reduced to 6 inches, so it's not a 12-inch banner, but does apparently encompass all the Lamroth models, which makes me wonder if they're going to be keeping the Lossenark and the Langdon models in there, because they are stunning models anyway. Whether we'll be seeing the return of Men at Arms or if they've been legacied, I can't quite remember off the top of my head. And also if the Black Root Veil are going to be a thing in this new edition going forward. The Five Sims is one of the lists I'm really excited to see, because if that benefits all the Lamroth models, then that's going to make those a lot more potent as well. Otherwise, he stays pretty much the same. He's fairly solid. He's always been fairly solid in combat. It's worth noting as well, as soon as I can get hold of all these models, tutorials will be coming out for them as soon as I possibly can. Because this is going to be stuff that we're really excited to get hold of. So we have the new Ent Beach Bone. It's finally dropped again, one other one that's been teased later on in the year. Along with this, we also have a brand new Bold model, which was an interesting choice. I know a lot of people had an issue with the old Bulk, and I can see why, because that massive oval base and the like, it wasn't great. It was a bit janky. So I'm glad that Bold's getting an update. Whether it was something that needed to happen sooner rather than later, I don't necessarily know, but regardless, what I can say is the model actually looks really, really cool. He's really dynamic, really ferocious, capturing that ferocity of Bolg from the films, and even the mounted model is so dynamic, that bucking warg and snarling, ready to chase down his prey. Yeah, I'm going to be buying this model regardless, because again, it's just a really nice model and a great update for what is effectively old tired Bolg now. And I believe the last new thing coming out, I should say, are the Corsairs of Umbar Ballista, which is something that I think when we saw it teased in the Armies of the Middle Earth, the Armies of Lord of the Rings book, the first bit that came out, everyone kind of sat there and went, they're getting a ballista. Where is this ballista? Where is our pirate ship ballista? And again, it just really captures the aesthetic of Umbar, that super pirate aesthetic. The tattoos, the hair, the gold laced down on the sharps, its curved swords, and even the ballista itself, those long pieces of really spiky metal. Going to make it really interesting. I really hope they bring back a lot more Umbar stuff, because I'd love to see these kind of fielded alongside on Umbar lists. But on top of that, we also have a slew of old models coming out as well, which I'm super, super excited for. And I'm going to go through them now just so we can see what's coming out. We've got Dalamir and the Hasharin models, which are beautiful models, particularly the Hasharin with the single blade. Of course, in line with the Ballista coming out, they're re-releasing the Corsair Captain and the Corsair Bosun, Mr. Peter Jackson right here. And I'm really grateful I haven't sold my Arbalestas yet, because Corsair Arbalestas, or Crossbowmen I think now that they might be referred to, are coming out. So all that freehand mosaicing I did on my Corsair shielding will not have gone to waste. I can still field them in my army. I don't have to worry about them being legacied. One thing that I thought had been legacied, and I'm surprised is actually coming back out again, are the Black Numenorians. Really stunning models. A little bit one-dimensional in their poses, but really beautiful models, and I'm interested to see what they do with these now in the new edition, if they're still going to be terrifying, how they're going to up them, because they were kind of on the same par with your Warriors and Militaris, that kind of thing. So they never really shone too much on the battlefield apart from causing terror, so it's nice to have infantry models that did do that. But I'm interested to see what army list these guys fit in. I'm rather suspecting it will fit into that Great Eye army list, which was talked about in the new Armies of Middle-earth book. So yeah, it feels like there's going to be a lot of scope there. Whether they're going to bleed them out into some other lists or add things to other lists that are already established, I don't know. More than likely not going to be doing that, and they're just going to make new army lists for them so they're self-contained, as is the idea for Games Workshop right now. How can you have a dragon army without dragon models? And the old school Games Workshop dragon is coming back out. I believe he's actually taken a bit of a ding in his points value. I do believe he's had a 200 point drop. They've also had a bump to a fight value of 8, which is super good, so it just keeps them alive a little bit longer on the tabletop. They come with a brand new rule as well, and that is this: the dragon automatically passes any intelligence test it's required to take. Additionally, each time the dragon spends a might point on a roll of a d6, on a 4+, the might point is free and does not reduce the dragon's might score. So that comes with a superior intellect, which really ties into dragons being really conniving, really cunning, really smart, and a really cool. I think you're going to find them to be really potent pieces on the table now. Along with the cave drakes as well, we're seeing Durburs and Drizag coming back. So the Goblin King of Moria makes his return, along with the Bat Swarm accompanied Beastmaster Drizag. And of course, we can't talk Moria and Khazad-dûr without referring to the armoured dwarf warriors of the underground. We've got the dwarf command coming back with the dwarf hornblower, and the Dwarf Ballista as well, and that's a model that I've had so many of, and it's so much fun to build and play. Just hurling massive cannonballs at your opponent from across the battlefield was always super fun, and hopefully something they still do. Now I can't lie and say I'm unbiased and not be happy that Minister if they're getting a little bit more love, and Beragond, who was teased as coming out in a single pack blister, now is also coming back out in his metal glorious pose. At least I believe he is still metal. Yes, still metal. So I will be doing a tutorial for him when it comes out, because the Beragond I've got is painted already. He'll be being accompanied by the classic Gondor Avenger Bolt Thrower, and again I'm really glad they brought these back out again, because I've got two sitting in there with the scenic Minister F basis, the flagstone, so I would be really sad had they not come back out, and I would have had to either commit them to Legacy or just not use them. So Minister F getting a bit of love there as well, along with the Mordor Orc Siege Bow, I believe it's called. That classic kit thrown back out just to match the Gondorian side a little bit as well there. And of course the Moses Warriors will be returning as well, with Gambari Gant ahead of them. Of course we've got Piles of the Druidan in the new book, so we'll be seeing those on Saturday as well, and that's a set I haven't actually got around to buying actually at any point in my Middle-earth career, so I'll be excited to get some of those and get them played up in tutorials for you guys as well. So yes, what can I say, I'm super excited for Saturday, and I really hope that they've catered enough product, rulebook and model wise, for everyone who wants this stuff that's coming out, because I know it's going to be hotly contested, and if you don't get it in the first pre-order day, you're probably going to get it for a good couple of months. Really actually quite sad as well this is coming out so close to doubles, because we'd settled on Kirathungel, I was starting to paint the model to Urukai part of that, and now this has come out, so now I'm worried, excited, and potentially quite bankrupt at how plans might change. And again, I really hope the crocodiles don't come out, because we've still not had everything that's been teased yet. We've still got the catapult troll to come, so there's War Drakes of Rune, which are stunning models, and we were teased Leaf as well from the Aura the Rohirrim set, so they're all still to come as well. Hopefully, I mean, of course I want them to come soon, but I don't want them to come soon enough that I have to fulfill my promise to Jeb and do a whole War Drake. Yes, be a sad time, but yeah, hopefully they've catered for the amount of people that want all these wonderful goodies they're bringing out. I know that we've been a little bit, as a community I guess, a little bit hard on the release schedule, and it seems a bit weird that they've been teasing quite a lot of stuff quite early on in the year and we haven't actually seen it. But I suppose maybe they're just saving up for a big release like this and dropping a lot at once, rather than drip feeding the odd one or two models, which, I mean, I'm not unhappy about. I mean, my wallet's pretty unhappy about it, but it's going to be unhappy regardless. It just feels better when it's drip fed, because there's little money leaving frequently rather than a lot of money leaving at one time. But it's not going to change what I'm going to buy or what I'm going to be getting hold of. I doubt it will for any of the hobbyists out there as well. But yeah, so it's good to see that they're finally bringing out some of the stuff that was teased earlier on in the year. I'm super excited for all this stuff coming out. Again, it's going to be a super expensive weekend for me, but I'm okay with it, because the new book, yes. Imrahil, yes. Hera, yes. Tree, yes. Bolg, yes. Oh, the dice as well, the Swan Knight dice as well. That's the, as Jeb calls it, as our little gaming group calls it, the idiot tax. I'm going to be buying those as well, because they are beautiful dice and they're rounded edges, and that's the one thing I like about or the one thing I've had an issue, with Games Workshop dice before, the themed Lord of the Rings dice, is that they've had pointy edges, and I find they never really rolled very well. I always prefer my dice to have rounded edges, and they feel like they roll much better. So the fact they've got awesome dice for Don Amroth, themed Don Amroth dice, and their rounded edges, of course I'm going to buy them. So why would you not? But yes, that's enough of me vamping and rambling on about this week's pre-orders. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking of picking up and why, and what you're most excited about from the new army book coming out. What lists do you want to see? What list are you going to be looking at trying to build yourselves and paint yourselves? And what are you most excited to run now that the third book is finally here? Till next time, guys, take care, and as always, happy hobbying. Bye, guys.